It's interesting because I talked a little bit earlier about the nudge, that sometimes I don't even know the why. You know, we talk about the why a lot. Sometimes I don't even know the why, but I know the what, that I'm supposed to do something. And sometimes I don't know the why until I'm already doing it or it's already done. And so sometimes when I have that nudge, you know, we have lots of thoughts. We have lots of emotions. And so I don't act on every thought. Good news. Good news. And I don't act on every emotion, also good news. So a long time ago when I started doing personal growth work, I had this contract with God. That's my story, is I would be like, God, you tell me. Like, what am I supposed to do? Because when am I up in my head and I'm just intellectualizing something, but it's not really what I'm supposed to do? When is it my emotions? And so I have this agreement with him that when he keeps bringing things up for me and I keep getting that deep intuitive hit, that nudge, that I say yes. And I say it quickly. I call it quick obedience. Before my brain can talk me out of it, before somebody else can talk me out of it, before I get blown up on social media and they tell me I'm wrong, I do the thing that I feel like I'm being called to do. And that has really served me well, because the good news is I don't feel like that's from me. For me, I know that that's from a deeper place. And so I can't screw that up. That's really cool. Months ago, I don't know if Jessica remembers when, but months ago, I told her, I've got this intuitive hit, and this might sound crazy, but you're supposed to paint while I'm talking. If it resonates with you, if you're like, that's the craziest thing ever, then I guess it's not, then it's not. But I need to talk to you about it and see if you would be with this and consider it. And she didn't consider it for very long when she circled back with me and she said, yeah, I am supposed to do that. So we are just going with that. But that's one of my points about how to ignite the light, how to ignite the light in your life, how to ignite the light in somebody else's life. You know, Kayla Leah said it the other night. She said, you need to ignite your own light first. But one of the ways I do that for myself is quick obedience. So I do the thing that I know that I'm called to do, even if I'm scared. So I'm going to say something on that. I don't like that saying, live a fearless life. And I know it's popular, and I'm sorry, somebody's going to get mad, probably message me. But if you wait until you're fearless, if you're like me, you're not going to do it. I'm scared a lot of the time. I'm scared right now that after this whole weekend, I'm going to screw it up, you know, like in the final hour. But I'm going to do this anyway. If you feel the fear, but you know you're supposed to go or say something or not say something, do it anyway. And so I don't like it because I've thought about it probably way too long. And I'm like, really? Because I don't like to give people coaching where I feel like that's wrong information. If I tell you to live a fearless life and you sit at home waiting to be fearless, I'm afraid I'm doing you a disservice. I'll add to that. I also don't like if the door doesn't open, break it down. I don't like that one. What if it's not your door? What if the timing for that door is off? Sometimes you could break a door down and get yourself hurt or somebody else or lose your job. So that's where that nudge comes in for me. So tune in and be careful about what I call bumper sticker personal growth talk, because it may not always fit every context or situation. It may. Now, sometimes it's a good mantra to say, I'm going to live this fearless life. But is that really possible? How often are you completely fearless? So feel the fear. Do it anyway when you know you're called to do something. So we're just co-creating something. And this is what I love. I love creating things with people. If I just wanted to speak, I wouldn't have started Women Ignite. Because this is a lot of work to just get me a few minutes to speak. Like, I just go speak on somebody else's stage. It would be a lot easier. So that's not why I do this. It's to co-create something with somebody. And what we're doing with these panels, I want to model to you my vision of the what's next, of professional growth and personal growth and politics and social justice, which is let's link arms. And I know it's going to be messy, and I know it's scary. I get scared because I'm like, I don't know what we're going to see on this panel, and I don't know if it's going to create value for you or not. But let's link arms and let's do it together, because I think the what's next is, when I grew up, there was motivational speakers that would stand on a stage, and they were great, and they had great messages, and that was awesome. And Martin Luther King is one of my favorites. Like when I hear his talks or I see his quotes, something about him really resonates with me. The thing that I want to do to move all of what he started, or what a lot of them started forward, is I want to stand on the stage with you and do that. So instead of standing up here and speaking about equality and linking arms and collaboration, I want to collaborate in real time and model what I believe that we need to do with the what's next. There is some good work that has been done in the space of equality and empowerment. And there's a lot of good work left to do, yes? Not only for us, but for our children. Is my daughter here? Tasia, are you here? Did she leave? My daughter was here a little bit earlier, and I know she's a kid, so she's not an adult human. We usually say adult humans. But I'm wanting her to start to see some of this. Not all of it. She'd probably be like, she's always like, Mom, I know the speech. That's what my kids say to me. Mom, we know the speech. I'm like, this is a new speech. You don't know this one. Just listen. But I want to start to bring her to some stuff, because I want her to see what I stand for and what I believe in, and I'm so passionate about. And now I'm not going to put anything on her. She's going to have her own calling, her own strengths. They're different than mine, maybe some of the same, some of them very different. Some of them are like my sister. She reminds me of my sister. She's a super feeler. So she's going to have her own way. But I want to live and walk my talk, the things that I talk to them about being kind, about collaborating, about how we are better together, and the power of the collective. That's not a bumper sticker to me, I promise you. I love collaborating with people. This is why we MC together. It's like we do everything in these units because we're better together. And I want to model that out. You guys are going to be happy. I'm going to read my notes to make sure I stay on point. One of the things that helps me ignite my light is my faith. And I've talked about that. And I'm like Nathan. You don't have to agree with me. We can just have courageous, compassionate conversations. We very little of the time agree, right? The truth is sometimes we're firing on the same cylinder and it's beautiful, but oftentimes we have different trajectories. We have different ways we've grown up, different faiths, all of that. But for me, my faith is really important. One of the things I think, and I was journaling about this last night, you need faith when your future is unknown, and the future is always unknown. So faith is something that's my rock. When I don't know anything else, when I think everybody around me is out of my mind, including me, and the economy's whatever, and social media is poof, my faith is my rock, and it's how I keep my light ignited. Hard work. I don't think anything replaces hard work. No matter how smart you are, no matter how many technological devices we have, work your face off. I don't know why I say that, I just like it. Work hard. I guess don't really work your face off literally, because that would be uncomfortable and unattractive. Sacrifice. Serve more than you take. There is an ecosystem, a social ecosystem that you make a difference in, whether you realize it or not. And you may think, I'm more introverted. Kent, he's so cute, right? I'm more introverted. I'm going to go sit in a corner after this. I'm like, really? Okay. But when you walk in the room, there's energy to you, and it matters. Your difference matters. So whatever you do, however you steward your gifts, your body language, your words, your time, it matters. And doing good, big work is sacrificial. I guess speaking from my own trajectory. And I don't mean don't do self-care, because I do believe in self-care. That's why I'm so glad for Vida Novu and partners like that, because we've got to take care of ourselves, not only our health and wellness, but go get a massage if it makes you feel good and fills you back up, so that, these are two of my favorite words when it comes to service. And especially for women, because women are like, well, but I've got my family and my philanthropy or my humanitarian things or the church things and the soccer league and the stuff and the deal. And then they get depleted, yes? But for us to be amazing in those spaces, we get to shore up this one so that. Because otherwise, you're on a short-term mode, and it's going to stop. Do you want to be great for 6 months? Because you can do hard things, and you can do a lot of things, and you can do almost anything for a short period of time. But do you want to do it over the next 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 years, like me? Then we get to take care of this one. Yes? My favorite book says to love others as you love yourself. That's not easy. In fact, if you're like me, I'm the one that I have the toughest time loving and not judging because I know too much about myself, right? I know what to judge. I know how imperfect I am. And of course, we get told, right, the messages, not just the words people actually say, like the things they don't say. You can tell. You can tell with people's energy when they're judging you, right? So the sacrificial part for me doesn't mean I don't believe in self-care because I do, but the sacrificial part comes in that, there's going to be girls' night outs that I don't get to go do. It's why I love working with the people that I work with, and I love doing this because this is work, but this also fills up my soul. Good news. And I think God made it that way for me. And for each of us, our callings and our causes and our whys, they're different, and that's okay. For me, my why fills me up. And so I don't always have to go out and just goof around to have fun. But it is good to go goof around in karaoke sometimes. And if you guys want to go, we got to go. Who likes to karaoke? You got to go karaoke with me and Jenny Q and Sammy. It gets a little crazy. Serve more than you take. You will probably give up time, energy, money, and Netflix binges sometimes to serve selflessly. Your inner circle is really important. A couple of years ago, I was challenged with, things don't stay the same. They change all the time. And so as Women Ignite was starting to grow, and we had a lot of work to do, we still have a lot of good work to do, I was thinking, what does this inner circle look like? Because you have your inner circle in your personal life, and then you have your inner circle at work. And that support system that helps you, that has different strengths than you, that can speak into your life with truth, but can do it compassionately as well. And I love to be this open-minded person, and I love to honor you even when I disagree with you. And so I was having to work through some of that because that became a little bit challenging at one point in my inner circle as far as my work. And I thought, well, this isn't my personal inner circle, but it was my work inner circle, and it wasn't completely, it just wasn't working as good. It needed a dial-up, I like to say. It needed a dial-up. It worked for a time, and then I needed to, as we grew, recalibrate. And one of the things that came up for me, might sound funny because people use this more as an expression for marriage. It was to be equally yoked. And I thought, well, that's a weird thought to have about your work inner circle. Be equally yoked. And I really thought about that for some weeks and meditated and prayed on that. I'm like, what does that mean for me? And I guess for me, that just meant I need to have similar core values. I want truth to mean the same thing, to each other, so we're not speaking completely different messages on what is truth, what's integrity, what's honesty, what is serving somebody more than you take. Because I've talked to people that are like, oh, I'm a servant leader. I am so about service, but I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that from them. I felt more of a take energy. And maybe it was just because we weren't congruent to work together. It doesn't mean they're wrong. Does that make sense? But I just had to, for me, vet through that and say, who do I have on my inner circle that can speak into my life, be truthful, not sugarcoat things, not enable me, because that's going to just get in our way of growth, yes? We need women and men. We need people that can speak into our lives and be honest and do it with kindness and be compassionate, but speak into our lives from their strengths and their experiences, even if we get a little bit upset and we don't love it. But it's like, I love you too much to not tell you, this is my experience and I just want to give you this gift of my honesty because I want to help you grow and get better. But I do it with zero agenda. There's no agenda other than to help and support you. That is powerful. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's so good. Feedback is so good because it's data. And data will tell you things. It's not easy to hear, but when we get feedback in love and in truth, and somebody doesn't force it upon us, well, you should do that personal growth class. That would help you. Well, that's not helpful. But listen to this language difference. You know what? There's an amazing personal growth class called Ventana. Very, very good. And if you're interested, I'd be happy to go to a preview with you if you're willing. No pressure, though. But I just want to make that a possibility and make that available to you. Let me know. Is that different? And instead, we should all over each other. Or you have to, or you must. No, people really don't have to do anything if you haven't noticed. They're going to do whatever they do. So I just want to challenge you, who is on your inner circle? Professionally, personally. Who do you go play with when you need to do the self-care and you need to go karaoke or quilt or whatever you do? If you need to go run, if you need to go shoot, like whatever it is that you do, who do you do that with? Who's that safe space? Who do you do that with in your business? Do you have people that can mastermind with you and say, wow, what have you thought about this with your branding and your messaging? One thing I'm excited about after Women Ignite is over is there's some people that are really powerful with storytelling and messaging, and I know we've got work to do with getting our message out there and doing it better. I'm not an expert in that at all, and I need people to speak into my life. I think Jason's here, Jason Hanselman, and he was telling me, yeah, I've got some ideas, because he's really pretty masterful at that stuff. But he talked to me like a week ago, and I said, hold that thought, just talk to me after this conference, and we're going to talk about that. One of the things I love about him is he speaks into my life. He's very truthful, and he and I come from different places and different strengths, but I know he's got my back, and he's got the right agenda, and he wants to help me grow my business and not get as many bumps in the road and do it quicker and less painfully, and maybe not waste as much money along the way making poor choices just because I don't know what I don't know. Who's on your inner circle? In your personal life, in your professional life? And are there any holes? Are there things that you need? Resources, strategies, tools, encouragement? Are the people in your tribe positive? Do they speak life into you? And I'm not saying just always like, rah, rah. I have people that I love and support, and sometimes I have to speak hard truth to them. But I do it in love. And I'll even tell him, I've got a friend, Brian, and he knows this, and he's finally gotten used to me after 8 years. And he does hire me to come in and work with this company, but I don't know why he hired me the first few years, because I think I used to just irritate him more than anything else. Because I would say, I love you, I appreciate you, but here's something I want you to consider. He'd go, oh, because it would be slowing this visionary down. And now he's got used to me, and he's like, okay, she sees things different than me, and she has my back because I love him and I appreciate what he's doing, and I want to have his back, but sometimes it means I have a totally different idea than he does, or just something he hasn't thought about that now he needs to put into that queue and think about. So who do you have speaking into your life, supporting you, loving on you, telling you the truth? I'm going to share with you a song, and we're going to give you a gift. We are going to come around to the tables, and we're going to give you a gift. And when you get your gift, you may open it. And I'm going to sing a song, and you'll see what the gift is for once you open it. But I want to challenge you to ignite the light, really, in your life. Because when you ignite the light in your life, you can ignite the world. When you are empowered, when you are clear, when you know what your calling is, or you at least know the direction you need to go in, wherever you're feeling nudged, when you have the support system that you need and you're taking courageous action to move forward, which is going to take time and energy and sometimes money and all of those things to go after the thing that you say that you're called to do. It's not just going to happen. It's not going to be easy, but I promise you it'll be good. And when you do that, then you can speak into other people's lives and ignite the light. Help them ignite the light in their life. You don't ignite the light in somebody else's life, but you could maybe be the wind beneath their wings to ignite their life. So I want to share this song with you. Yeah. Light them up. Light up your gifts. Can you cue that again? In every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold, there is a spirit that brings a fire, ignites your candle and makes its home. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, the tired and worn. Hold out your candle for all to see. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds her candle with all her faith. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the lonely, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. It's my favorite part, 'cause we are a family whose hearts are blazing. So let's raise our candles and light up the sky. If we stand together in the name of love, we'll be a beacon in the darkest hour. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see. Take your candle, go light your world, and run to the darkness, seek the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold your candle for all to see. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. Go light your world.